Hey guys, a disclaimer, this is not a how to date in Budapest type of video. I just wanted to share what my dating experience has been so far in the city. I'm here in the city now for almost three weeks now, and I think I had a couple of not that many experiences, but the ones that I had to, they made me process and think about the whole thing in a way that I didn't before. I went to the Budapest Pride Parade. I mean, it was not a Pride Parade. It was more actually uh, a march type of thing because it's a whole thing in the city where you don't have the same-sex marriage and kind of thing allowed to happen. You have a civil partnership. That's at least what I have been told. So the the Pride Parade that the rest of the world is currently all used to be doing at the same time around the rest of the world. They didn't want to not do anything, but at the same time they wanted to be political, so it had a little bit of meaning. But I wasn't planning on staying or even going for the pride. I was just, strolling around the city as I usually do on my time off. Which of because of the time difference right now with my job in the States, I get a couple hours, up until after lunch, right? So I get the whole morning and then maybe 2 hours after lunch. It's just to be outside and do all of the things that one person is supposed to whenever he's at the new country or city. So I decided to check it out, but at the same time I was like, okay, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time in this place because I was reading the news online about the whole pride and thing, and they were actually mentioned that you could get arrested by the police, just by being outside and marching with a lot of LGBT queer people outside in the streets. And that made me freak out because I was like, I'm not gonna stay here forever in this country. I'm not gonna get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble whatsoever. I don't want to have to deal with any type of repercussion just because I am walking on the streets and it happens to be the same day as the pride. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just go home, but let me just check it out just a little bit to see what's popping, right? Let me see where people was wearing or even singing, because there was a lot of music playing. People were wearing this colorful clothing and makeup and all of these things that you get to do whenever it's pride, right? And I was actually kind of lost to trying to get my way back to where we were supposed to be, and my internet was not. That's the thing that I was kind of frustrated about at the time. I was like, okay, I have this 5G that I paid for. I bought especially, the internet from the country, so I don't have to end up or face any issues, and I was still having a lot of trouble trying to connect, and also just use the Google Maps itself, because that's how I operate whenever I'm in a different country or even a different city. I just use Google Maps for everything because that's the easiest route to go. Am I right? Yeah. So my Google Maps was not functioning because of internet that I had none at the time, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't make it work, so I asked for someone to explain to me where I was at and how I could get back to the part of the city that I am right now. And that person said, okay, yeah, you can go straight away, then you're gonna take the second turn to the left, then right, and blah blah blah. I was trying to write it down just so I didn't forget, right? So that's what I did, and at the end I thanked him, and he was like, but you know what, I can walk you up until your place just because it's it's safer this way. And I was like, you don't have to do that because especially because you're going to the pride right now and you have on plans. I just want to go home, and I don't have the internet, and strangely they don't have internet like in the public spaces right here, so I was actually drawn because of that as well. But I accepted the help and I was like, okay, yeah, you can walk me home. I'm not that far. I guess we were 20 minutes, I guess, just away from where I'm staying. And I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, okay, this person's trying to help me. This is good. I appreciate this person, walking the extra mile and going outside of the plans just to make sure that I get home. And at the time that he dropped me off, right, literally here in front of the building, he was like, okay, if you're not gonna stay at the Pride, I'm just gonna head back. And I was like, okay, yeah, do your thing. Thank you so much for coming out this way just to help me out and to make sure that I get home. Because again, my internet was not working and I had no idea how to make it work or how to get home without Google Maps. And he asked me for my Instagram, which I did. Told him my handle. We started talking right away. We actually got to plan to meet, and a couple hours later, I think it was around 4 or 5, not 5, but before 5 p.m. And we set to meet in 2 hours, just outside of the whole thing was going down for Pride. And we started talking. Then I gave him my WhatsApp. Just I thought it was better just because of communications. And also you could do a easier and quicker phone call through WhatsApp, right? So that's what I did. We started talking through WhatsApp. Then we met in this bar. We had a nice conversation. We didn't have any alcohol because I'm not drinking. This person, he I think he was hangover from the night before, so he was not having any type of drinks at the time, which was good because I prefer to have a normal conversation just like by looking at you in the eyes and also making sure that you're fully present in that moment, right? You're in front of me, so why don't you just make sure that you're like fully focused on the conversation that we're having right now. And the conversation was okay. We had a good time. I think 2 hours later, I eventually went back home. My internet was working at the time, which was good, right? I got myself a Lime scooter, which I drove myself home, which I find to be doing that a lot in the city. I think that if you had the chance to look at the two prior that I made in the city, I was basically doing that, just scooter riding all over the city and also all across from crossing the river, crossing the bridge, and from going from point A to point B, and that's what I have been doing, more than actually taking the subway and the bus, right? Because I was like, no, this is much more fun. You get to be outside, you get to see the city, especially me, because I'm here for a short time or period of time. I just rather be riding the scooter because I get to see the city, I get to see the sunrise, the sunset, and the river, blah blah blah. So okay, we agreed to meet again the next day, which was a Sunday actually, and we went to this park close from where he used to live. So he didn't live in that area anymore, but he knew pretty much everything about it because he used to live there. That's where he grew up. And we stayed at the park for I don't know, maybe 3 hours. The park was so huge that we to the beginning of the park, then we crossed it, then we sat down in the bushes just to watch two people getting married, and then we had lemonades in the shade. Then we were talking about ourselves and about the family and how things were back home with the whole LGBT acceptance by the family. And I told him my story, which was not the best, and he told me his, that he was very by his mom and older sister, and he didn't talk that stuff about dad, same as me. But I just found it fascinating to see how even coming from different continents and different cultures, you still get to see a lot of the same stuff happening, right? Especially if you're around the same age, or if you don't have that many age gap, right? I'm 28, he's 30, So we were kind of navigating the same phase in life, with a job in terms of work, and also renting their own place and having friends at the age of 30 plus. So we kind of hit it on and actually match in a lot of the things that we were getting to know each other, but other things we were just not making it make sense, if you know what I mean. It just didn't make sense. Like, I was into A and he was into B, or I would prefer to have kids at 35 or 24, and whereas he was like, I'm not gonna have kids. I think that's the biggest BS that you can have as a today's adult, is to have a kid, because our parents had no idea how to raise us, and even though they did, and right now we get to have the chance and then the opportunity not to raise a kid, but people still do it and they don't know how to do it. And that kind of draw me back, because I was like, wait a minute, this conversation is heading towards a direction that I don't appreciate, and I don't think it's interesting to me anymore. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just go home and call it a day, and we get to meet some other day, or whenever I get a time off, because whenever I'm not working, I'm free. He's at work because he gets to work at 8 a.m. from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is kind of the time that I'm available. And then I start working at 3 to 11 p.m., and that's when I have work and he's free. And I was telling you guys that I don't think we would have the time to meet from Monday through Friday, because we wouldn't just have the same time availability to meet. Before we go back home, before we went home, I was like, okay, maybe I just want to have something to eat, right? And we went to this restaurant by the sea, and even though it was evening, there was no, it wasn't nighttime, because it was just still clear, right? We still had sun. Right now in Europe, you get to see the sun setting around 9:30ish, I would say, so it wouldn't be dark out already at the time we went to have dinner, even though it was summer, right? So what I'm trying to say is that we went for food, and we found a place. He recommended me a Hungarian dish, which is cool. I think I had salmon with risotto, and the risotto was kind of greenish. It didn't taste like the best risotto I had, but it was still delicious. It was still yummy, which I appreciated for the recommendation. At the end, he was like, "No worry, I got this." And when you say "I got this," you're making the other person know that you got the bill, right? You're gonna get the check, and you're gonna pay yourself, the whole bill, or you're gonna pay most of it. I don't know. And he got it, and he paid it. I think it was around 20 euros my plate, plus 25 his. So I think he paid around 45 euros or 50 euros, right? So I think that's the amount that he paid using his card. And then I said bye to him. I went home. I got home. The food didn't make me any good. I had a problem in my stomach, which I was in the bathroom all day. From that night until the next morning, I spent the following day in the bathroom, which I told him. I was like, hey, I don't think the food was good to me, because this is how I feel, and this is what I'm going through right now. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I had no intention to do that. And I was like, you know what, no, that's not your fault. I'm just literally letting you know that this happened, because we had pre-plans of meeting up. And I told him we're not gonna be able to do that to meet, because right now I'm just not in the right headspace, or even I'm not feeling good, to go out. And out of the sudden, I need to go use the bathroom, and I don't have a near restroom that I could use for that type of thing. So I told him, you know what, I'm just gonna stay home, and I'm trying to get better, and I'm just gonna go to the nearest pharmacy and get myself a pill, a medicine that could help me with that. And he was like, okay, yeah, totally get that. I think 2 to 3 or 4 days went by that week, and he was like, hey, how are you? How do you feel? told him I'm okay, I'm actually better than I was in during the weekend, blah blah blah. And he remembered that I told him that I was gonna get the not only the 4th of July off, but also the 3rd of July. So I was having Thursday and Friday off of work, so I would not, have any work to get done, which that was the long weekend that we all had, right? If you work for American company, you also had, I think, the long weekend holiday. And I told him, okay, I'm gonna have this day off, so I think I'm gonna do something, right? I want to do something outside. I think I'm gonna have the time like to just go outside and do something that I never did in the city, or it could be something that I've done before, but I know I just wanna be outside, especially because it's sunny. It's 81 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I just wanna enjoy the sun in the city itself. And I told him that, and he was like, yeah, what do you wanna do? And I told him I'm not sure that I would like to do that with you. I think that I pretty much appreciate all of the things that we did, and the places that you showed me. He actually got to show me so many places and history, and also a tour that we did with at the park. A lot of history was told, and I was very happy with that. And I told him that I don't think I want to continue to seeing you. I just want to remain as friends if you like that. And he was like, okay, but you have to reimburse me for the money that I spent on you that day. And I was like, what? But that doesn't make sense, right? I was like, are you for real right now? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Because I pretty much remember you telling me that you got this, you got the bill. So when you say you got the bill, you make the choice to pay the bill for the both of the people that are sitting at the table, because you want, make a nice gesture, because you want to be a gentleman, or blah blah blah, whatever the reason may be, right? And he was like, yeah, but now that you wasted my time, I want the money back. And you're not only gonna pay for the meal that I paid for you, but you're also gonna pay for my time during the tour for you at the park, and that would be 70 euros. And you can pay me through Revolut, or you can PayPal me. And I was like, wait a minute, is this fucking for real? Are you being serious right now? Because I don't get it. And then just so you guys can get a picture of the words that he used, I'm gonna put a screenshot right here of the conversation, the chat that I had with him. And I was trying to make it make sense, because it didn't at the time. I was like, it doesn't make sense, right? Why are you charging me right now if you made the decision to pay for both of our meals and drinks and blah blah blah? And he was like, yeah, till the point you wasted my time, and people that waste my time, they have to pay for it. And I was like, oh my god, this is so confusing. I don't get it. Where's the nice person that I met a couple of days ago, and somehow they managed to turn into this bad person, or this person that is totally not the person that I met, right? I was so confused. And he continued to be rude about it, and started to get pushy until I blocked him. I was like, okay, bye. This is not, how I planned it to go. This is not of, dating abroad was expected from me. And I was so drawn back and so frustrated with the whole thing. That was like, this is exactly the type of situation that makes me not want to download the apps again, the dating apps again, because I don't trust people going out for dates, or even, meeting people that you don't actually know if you're good or not. Because it's out there's a lot of people pretending to be somewhere that they are not, and they can be evil, just like this one. I was like, wait a minute, I never actually asked you to pay for my meal. I never actually indicated that I want you to pay for my things, because this is my life. The traveling that I make, everything that I do, all of this is being paid by me only. I don't have a sponsor. I don't have a mom or dad that are sending me money, or are selling me, or Venmo, sending me Venmo, or blah blah blah. No, that's me. So I would have literally zero problems with paying my part of the meal, right? With paying my part of the check. But he insisted of getting it paid, and I was like, okay, since you're you get it, since you got it, okay, go ahead and get it. That's no problem for me. And that's so sad to think about someone asking you for money back when you literally agreed to have a day out, a meeting or a dating, or how you like to call it. And that's actually funny because that's actually the second type of situations where I'm asked for money, not in the same country, not in the same continent, because the last time that it happened to me, it was actually in Egypt. Okay, give me a second. Excuse me. And if you guys do remember, I had this person come over, do all of the things, and at the end he was a prostitute, and he was asking me for $40 USD. Yeah, I think that was it. And right now, fast forward 1 year in Europe, a place that you would not expect someone to ask money back for anything that he done with you, turns out to happen again, and I was so sad. And what I think, I wanted to leave, at least 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes at the end of the video to tell you guys what I think. I don't think it makes any sense to charge someone from a dating meetup that you had with them just because they decided not to see you again, right? It doesn't make sense. These are the consequences, or even the risk that you have to take when you decide to go out with someone, right? Because you cannot force that person to continue to see you or even to go out with you. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't happen like that, If two people, they want to meet up, they want to continue to see each other, there has to be an effort on both parties, right? Not just one. And I don't think it is healthy to say that you want the money back, because it doesn't make sense, because you made the choice. You made the choice to pay for the whole meal, the whole check. And especially if you went like this, I got this, that's the clearest sign to say that you're gonna pay for the whole thing. And if you do, that's a clear choice that you make. It almost feels like asking for a refund for something that you just ate. It's saying that you didn't like it, but you just clearly just ate the whole plate, just had the whole food, and now you want a refund. It doesn't make sense, and it's so problematic because I can't think of anyone doing this in the dating days that I had in the past, besides the one that I talked about on this channel, the one that happened in Egypt. But that is so strange, and that just makes me reinforce my decision to not go back to the dating apps, stay off of it, and not have any type of contact with people with that mentality or with that mindset, because it just makes zero sense. And yeah, now that I had time to process, it's been a couple of days now, and I'm almost finished packing up to go to another country tomorrow. I decided to sit down and have this conversation with you guys because I thought you might enjoy it, hearing and getting to know a little bit more of how it was dating life for me in Hungary, right? Yeah, even though it's not a huge extent, days of dating and also people and also blah blah blah, it was just one time that I had this type of experience here. I decided to share with you guys just because I think it might be helpful, and I also wanted to hear from you. Have this ever happened to you? Is this common in this country, in Europe? The reason why I ask is because excuse me. The reason why I ask is because I was born and raised in South America, so we have a totally different culture. And coming from Brazil, as you guys know, we don't ask for money back after having a date, after meeting up. We don't. And if you do, that's something really wrong with you, and you should get that fixed, because it doesn't make sense, right? Alright, that's all that I had for today. I just wanted to share with you guys this crazy experience that I had Clearly, that was not the best that I had planned for my time here. But overall, I think I had a good time in the country. I think I would definitely come back, but now I would like to come back during winter, which I know they don't go way below 0 degrees, right? The max that they can get is -10 Celsius, so that's good. But they do also get a lot of snowy days, and I would like to get back to this country between December to January. So maybe that's going to happen, but I don't know. I have so many other things to get done and do before planning a winter vacation, right? If you stayed up to this point in the channel, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I know that's a lot of you guys that are not currently subscribed yet. And let's change that. They literally takes 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate each of and every one of you, staying up to this point and hearing me out in my story, and leave a comment. What do you think about this? That's haven't happened to you? I want to know, if I was the only one that I got the chance to be this lucky. Thank you again for coming up to this part of the video. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.